So for this video, guys, we're going to go with flood drive with a cover 2 beater. You're going to see a lot of cover 2 beaters in this formation because of the cloud flat manipulation. Most people are playing cover 2. They're going to be using cloud flats. Absolutely love having a formation in my arsenal in the playbook that says if somebody's running cover 2 all game on me, I will basically tear them up left and right with different combinations to get them out of it, to now say, what else you got? You know, do you got cover 3s? Do you got, what are you going to play that we can get you out of the cloud flats? So we're going to show you here with flood drive. And this is a route combination I used to use a lot when I was playing with the Saints playbooks and the Broncos playbooks back in the day when they had pistol bunch tight end. I do believe that the Saints still have this in their playbook. It's called Saints Flood. And what it is where we take the flood side and we had the speed out by the tight end. Well, here we don't have it, but when we motion him over, we'll have it, right? So the A is doing a speed out. What's nice about this speed out is it does take a little bit of time to develop. And then once it hits that last rigid curve, he takes off and gets that speed. Well, when we put the X on a curl, that's going to hold the cloud flat. Then all we're going to do is put the Y on a drag and put the running back on a block. So it's going to look like this. So when you go against cover 2, and you should expect, you know, some type of cloud flat coverage, what should happen is the X is going to pull that cloud flat, allowing the A to get the nice speed across him, and by the time he crosses the face of the cornerback, it's too late. We're going to be able to throw it to him on the sidelines for a good 10-yard gain. Now, there are times, depending on your speed correlation between the X and the A, that they'll kind of get bumped or they run into the cornerback. If that's the case, all you're doing is creating an umbrella for the B underneath. Throw it to the B, get yourself, you know, about 4 to 5 yards, and then whatever you can turn up the field depending on how quickly you recognize that the A is not going to get open. I'll run a couple times, show you, because it's definitely going to happen where he's going to get held up one of these times, but there's also going to be a lot of times where he's going to get free, and that's the guy that you really want to target him first and settle for the B. So watch how it works. A is going to go through here. We're going to watch to see if he gets through. He does. Throw it to this guy. He's got to have a nice, easy catch. Now, let me show you what I mean by all the rambling I was doing prior to. So, what's going to happen here, 18 here is going to hold this cloud flat. See how the speed guy went through this traffic? If he happens to get held up, that's when you go and you throw it to this underneath player, because if they get held up, it's going to impede the defensive players anyways, right? So then we're going to throw it to the underneath route. But if he gets through, which, you know, it's basically, you know, a good portion of the time he gets through. He gets through, you're going to see that the guy's held up on that curl. You're going to throw it to him and get yourself 10 yards. Now, you can always throw it to this guy and try to turn up the field and get a very similar type gain, but it really depends on what you're looking for on it. Typically, I like to throw it to the player that's a little bit further down the field, ensuring that I got it and not really waiting on them to come rally down. So let me show it to you again here. I'm just going to get this defense in base line. And I'm going to put the X on the curl, Y on the drag, move the A over. What's nice about moving the A over, we're going to have, you know, a couple setups anyways with the A moving over, but it does also set up really nice ability to run a halfback base. So, you know, that goes to the left-hand side when you do that as well, because of the fact that, you know, you're overloading that side. So, you know, if you do a lot of plays with that tight end motion, they're not going to always expect the halfback base. So again, let's show it to here. This time I'm going to go to the B receiver. A gets over there. I'm going to choose to throw it to the B early, get myself up the field, and you're going to get about, you know, 8 to 10 yards, where you would have got about 10 to 12 yards if you did the out pattern. But you can see if that's a pre-thought that I want to throw to the safer player would be the drag on this type of situation. So here we go again. I'm going to show you on instant replay. So we're looking, and before we even realize does the guy get through or not, we're throwing this ball. And in this sense, you can see that that guy actually hit the player. So he hit the player. So it would have been something that if we saw that he hit the player, we would have waited about 2 seconds longer and threw it more towards the sidelines, and we probably would have got a little less yardage. But that's kind of one of those things that you want to kind of look at as you go, and, you know, settle on that drag, hit the tight end when you have the opportunity to.